and his finger gets cut off. I mean, what are the odds, right? But that's a bill of like close to $100,000. You just don't know what happens. So let's talk like friends here. Let's talk like fellow pet sitters, fellow dog walkers together. I can tell you from the get-go, I do recommend for you to get a pet business insurance, at least if you're in the US. That's the laws I know, but I would say all over Europe, Australia, Great Britain, it's not going to be any much different. So I do have a little cheat sheet here, just in case you're wondering why I'm looking always like to the side. But I'm making my case here for you to get a pet business insurance, and I'm trying to back it up as much as possible. So, first of all, what is a pet business liability, or in general liability insurance? A liability insurance provides protection against claims resulting from injuries and damage to people and or property. And you will see actually a few cases when I talk about some claims that were covered, how it applies to people and property in general. Liability insurance covers legal costs and payouts, very important, for which the insured party would be found liable. So just so you can get a grasp on what business liability insurance covers and what you could have to pay out of your pocket if you don't get it, I'm going to give you a few examples of claims that were paid out, and we're going to start with the lowest first. And it's not the lowest in general, it's just the lowest out of my examples. So first, a dog ate a chew toy and it had to be extracted out of the stomach. The insurance paid $734.18. Another one, a dog ate gum and that had to be extracted. They paid $2,244.35. How many times did that probably happen in my life, in my dog walking career, that a dog just ate something off the street? Another one, caring for a client's cat and the cat was injured. It can happen in play. It can happen multiple ways. After medical care costs and damages, they paid out $7,157. And you have to see that. I mean, $7,157. How much money are you making right now in your dog walking business that you could actually afford to just pay $7,000, just around $7,000, like, just because a cat got injured? Another scenario, a dog walker was walking a dog and the dog was struck by a car, which is of course horrible. And the business was held liable though by the family, and they had to pay $10,000. Now you might say, okay, I have a really good connection with the family. They would never do that to me. Well, you know what? You really don't know. I mean, you have to understand too, maybe they can just afford you and then they have to pay vet bill of $5,000, $10,000. They're going to be like, okay, your business needs to pay. And the thing is also, people expect for you to carry a business insurance, and then they just say, okay, let's just run it through the business insurance because that's what I'm hiring. I'm hiring a professional dog walker and pet sitter, at least that's what I'm hoping. And those professional pet sitters and dog walkers should always have insurance, because then the client wouldn't have to bear the brunt of any medical expenses that incurred, and neither do you. So let's get on to the next point. A dog in the pet sitter's care actually caused some major damage. I'm not so sure what it was, but there were some very expensive items. And it costs $18,179. So it just gets better from here. You have to imagine that you're playing with your client's dog in their backyard. You're having a really, really mighty good time. And then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, the dog in your care attacks the neighbor's dog. The neighbor gets involved, which I probably would do so too with my dog if they were in a fight and I thought it was safe maybe to remove my dog or the other dog, and his finger gets cut off. I mean, what are the odds, right? But that's a bill of like close to $100,000. You just don't know what happens. And it's really not just about bodily injury of animals. It's also, what if something happens when you go to the bathroom in your client's home? There was a pet sitter who accidentally damaged the toilet, probably didn't realize it. And as he was leaving, the toilet was still running. It caused major water damage. Now, luckily that pet sitter had liability insurance and they covered without any problems $105,450. So you have to imagine 100 grand, just like that. And it's not even that you can be just careful. You can be so careful, but you just don't know how the dog in your care is going to act. You can have a great meet and greet and really make sure the dog is not aggressive. But what if he gets stung by a bee as you're walking past the child and then he bites the child? There was actually another claim where the dog in the dog walker's care bit a child, and the family of the child sued the dog walker, the business. and they got $90,000. The dog owner who lost his finger didn't just get $98,700 just because he lost his fingers. No, he actually took the pet sitter to court and sued for lost wages due to recovery time, for medical bills, for emotional distress. So there are various reasons why somebody can actually sue somebody else. Now, if you have an LLC, which is of course really, really smart to do as a pet sitter, it does not unfortunately necessarily cover you if you have any claims against you because of tort law. And do not ask me really how it all really works, because I'm a pet sitter, dog walker, I'm a coach, I'm not an attorney. So tort law somehow sees animals as property, and therefore you can be sued if something happens with the animals in your care, or if the animals in your care destroy something. As I understand it, if you do it with intent or negligence, if there is any wrongdoing against a person, an animal, property, and animal is considered actually property, then you're going to be on the hook for it. It doesn't matter if you have an LLC, then you're going to be most likely held liable on a personal level. Now, again, I'm not an attorney, but the pet care insurance is there for a reason, because then the pet care insurance kicks in where maybe your LLC doesn't kick in. So when I actually started my LLC, I wasn't aware of that fact either. I just thought, okay, I have an LLC. Now nothing can touch my personal assets, nothing can touch me. But apparently it's not the case, because we're working with animals and it's a whole nother law situation that opens up. Now, another thought you might have at this point, my dear friend, okay, if something happens, I'm just going to sign up really quick for business liability insurance and then just claim it happened like the next day or at the end of the day. But usually most business liability insurances, when you sign up, they are just going to take effect in 7 days. And also, it's not a good idea to lie about what happened and when it happened, because that would be then insurance fraud. I'm certainly not a type who just signs up for every insurance there is on the planet. I have pretty much the bare minimum of insurances in my life, but I absolutely believe in pet business insurance. That is next to the car insurance. That's one I absolutely believe in, and I would never ever have a dog walk or pet sit without. Another question you might be considering, is business liability insurance required by law? Well, I can tell you that much from my research. It's not in most states of the US. I don't know how it is in other countries, but really honestly, I don't want the government to require everything of us. We can just make our own decisions. We can weigh the pros and cons, and then especially as a business owner, make our own wise decisions on what's best for us and our business. Now, at this point, I hope I have convinced you to actually sign up for business liability insurance. I can highly recommend Pet Care Insurance. I'm going to link them below. There you can get a policy starting at, I believe right now it's $13.33 per month. And then you can, of course, put the add-ons into the policy that you need. Just make sure you have enough coverage. You don't need everything that is an add-on. So just make sure it really applies to your business. If you have any questions at all, put them in the comment section below. Maybe another person is wondering that too, and they think, okay, maybe it's a stupid question. There are no stupid questions. Just ask them and I will get to them as soon as I can. Now, if I've convinced you to get a pet business liability insurance, the next logical step would be for you to watch my next video, the 7 key factors to consider when choosing pet business liability insurance. I hope this helped. I see you in the next video. And remember, dream big and go towards your dreams step by step.